Um, yeah, so my wife is registering for college right now. So I figured, while she's registering for college, I'm sitting in here waiting. That I would just go live real quick because, yeah, I'm not at home to I'm not at home to do any videos or anything like that. And I'm currently working on a video for the second channel, which I'm trying to balance my time in content creating for both channels, because I really want the second channel to succeed. And right now, my goal is to get the second channel to 50 subscribers, 50, 50 subscribers to unlock mobile live streaming from being able to live stream on a mobile device. So I have plans that I want to do on pixel side load, and so I need live streaming open. So that's kind of like what I'm doing right now, is grinding to get 50 subs on pixel side load. So that's the plan. At the same time too, still trying to like balance basically content creating on both channels. That's the idea. So um yeah, hey, what's up? What's going on, Anthony? How's it going, man? I know a lot of people are over at CES in Las Vegas. I didn't get to go. Um, Initially, I was going to be out of town, but that didn't happen. That's the reason why I didn't try to make plans to go to CES, because really wanted to go see all the homies, right? I wanted to go see Carlos and Ricky and Latrell. Wanted to see all of them, and so if I didn't make plans to go see family, then I would have made plans to spend at least 3 days up in Vegas. Probably not going into the CES event, but just going up there to see friends, and then also, to go see Peter Adderton and see him face to face, because he just got there. I think he just landed today in Las Vegas, so he should be there. Oscar, what's up, man? What's going on? But then I was like, I was gonna go see family, but then that plan didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. So yeah. Anyways, now since I've been running around all morning, basically had breakfast with my brother. So we went out to a place called L&O Drive-In. We had breakfast. I have some leftover. I have some leftover breakfast. So, and then my wife was like, she needed to do her registration for college. So we're over here right now at the registration office, and she's inside doing her registration. Kids get out of school in an hour, so I'm probably gonna have to have my oldest son pick up my kids from school today, just because we might be back just a little bit late. But yeah. No, I just started, man. I've been only live streaming for like 3 minutes already so far. And I totally forgot. I was like trying to go live on the Pixel Sideload channel, and I forgot, like, you have to do all this verification first before they allow live streaming on the channel, and then you have to get to 50 subscribers to be able to do it from your mobile phone. So I was just like, you know, all these requirements, all these requirements. See, I can be live on my phone, no problem, for this channel. But for the second channel, I can't. Why did I bring both of my channels? Why do I have a dedicated Pixel channel and then this channel? Well, this channel is a bit broader, right? So I mean, I do talk about Google Pixels on here, but I also talk about, like, iPhones. I talk about Samsung Galaxy. I talk about well, why did I rebrand? So Pixel Sideload is a whole separate channel, a whole new channel. If I had rebranded the second channel, I would have been over 100 subscribers, and I didn't think about that. I had actually like killed that channel months back, and then I brought back like it officially. I'm just stupid like that sometimes. Why did I rebrand this one? Well, you know, 14 years, 14 years of YouTube under that brand name, and it was just like, I don't know, just starting off fresh. I mean, since things are a little bit different per se back then, I think it was synonymous with just being like a main Android advocate, and I don't really advocate for Android solely anymore. I mean, I choose Android, but Yeah. So I'm just being me, you know what I mean? Like the channel is just me. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of what the brand name was, it's always been me. You know, it's just as you get older, you get a little bit maturer. You get you know you kind of understand things, and I was just like, okay, well, you know, the channel name doesn't really make who I am, or like it doesn't change the style of content. Well, it may change the style of content a little bit, but hold on. I'm gonna drop this window some more to get some more air, and then that clicking sound. Sorry about that. That's the I gotta rip apart the dash and get into the blower valve. It gets jammed, and I gotta get in there and loosen that up. I know Dodge cars also do that too. They're also notorious. Oh, I mean, it's still me. It's still me at the end of the day. It's still gonna be me. Maybe, you know, when you get the notification, you're probably like, you know, who the hell is Tito ESC? And the ESC is like the escape key. It's also the first 3 letters of my last name. But it's just me, man. I'm just being me. That's all it is. So it'll take a while, but I'm sure you guys will get used to it. And then Aloha Android will be like a thing of the past, or still synonymous with me. I mean, it doesn't matter what I name the channel, right? It doesn't matter what channel name this channel has. You know, B-Tech's still gonna call me Aloha Android. Like, you know, Mill Hustles is still gonna call me that. Like, they're all still gonna call me that. I mean, nothing's changed. It doesn't mean like, you know, like it's banished from the channel and shall never be spoken of again. Like, no. It's just that's not the channel name. It doesn't mean that everything is completely changed. I'm still me. I'm still who I am, and I still make videos the way that I want to make videos, and that won't change. And I think that should be like the more highlighted aspect of the channel, is me as a person and the type of content I'm creating, because that's not going to change. If you guys like that type of content, you're still going to get it. Maybe I'll try something new, but that's all. And it'll still pop up fast. One thing I know, and here's the thing, right? That name is always going to be stuck with me because Google is now making a very, very big change. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but your Google account, you will... Why is that blower valve still going? My God, that blower valve. It's so annoying. I'm so sorry. Okay. So hear me out on this. The Google accounts that you guys have, if you change your Gmail, right? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say my email address is alohaandroid@gmail.com. And, you know, I feel like changing it after so many years. I can actually change my email and still keep the same Google account. So I can change it to, like, you know, Tito19825765@gmail.com. And the Aloha Android name attached to the Gmail will still be what they call an alias. So it'll still be attached to my Google account. So if someone emails that email address, like, you know, aloha.android@gmail.com, I'll still get the email, even though my email address has changed. Now, it doesn't mean that you can create a second Google account and have them linked. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you can change the surname on your Gmail. So if you're 12345@gmail.com, you can change it to 678-910@gmail.com, and you'll be able to change that. But people can email either one of those email addresses, and you'll still get the email in your Gmail inbox. So Aloha Android is an alias that's attached to this Google account no matter what. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, there's other people that have named their YouTube channel Aloha Android. It's just so weird. So I know. Well, it's our channel. That's the way that I approach YouTube. It's not just my channel. It's our channel. You know what I mean? This channel wouldn't be here without you guys watching it and doing all the stuff that you do. You know what I mean? It's like that old question, right? You know, if you're in the woods and you know, and the firecracker goes off and there's nobody around, does it make a noise? You know what I mean? It was like that, right? Like you know, I could have a YouTube channel, but it could absolutely go nowhere unless like you guys are in here watching videos and stuff and commenting on my videos, thumbs upping my videos and stuff. And yeah, you search up Aloha Android on YouTube and you're gonna find my channel real fast. It's there's so much videos on this channel. Then over 3,000 videos on this channel that when you search up Aloha Android, you will find it. It'll show my new channel name and whatnot, which is just my name. The channel name is just my name. It's my first and last name technically, and you'll still find it. I do it all the time. I mess around on Chrome browser and type in Aloha Android and just see a bunch of videos that I did for, you know, years ago come up. So that's that. What was held for review? Okay. Let's see. Hey, so how is Visible compared to Mobile X? They're about the same. Are you talking about like network quality? They're about the same. I know that Mobile X is doing a bump on their 30 gigabyte plan, right? So, you know, if you choose the $25 plan, that's like 30 gigs or something like that. You know, you get bumped to 50 gigs now. So that's actually a pretty good thing. That competes with Google Fi's $50 plan. You get 50 gigs of priority high-speed data. I'm just not sure. I gotta look at it again, and that was actually going to be tomorrow's live stream. I was going to talk about that because there's people that are saying that you have to be like on the 3-month plan because Mobile X now sells plans in bulk like Mint Mobile. So you could be on a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 12-month plan. So yeah. Let's see, enjoying videos. Yeah, I appreciate it, Oscar. I appreciate you guys coming by, watching the live streams when they're live or watching the replays or anything like that. On the Pixel Sideload channel, which is just dedicated Google Pixel videos. This is where I'm going to throw a majority, because I feel like that I'm doing like repetitive videos on this main channel when it comes to Pixel. So I'll be like doing like Pixel reviews as far as like update reviews, like quarterly. So when the Pixel drop happens, that's when, you know, I'm going to do that on this main channel. But on the Pixel Sideload channel, there's going to be a lot of videos regarding Pixel reviews, camera reviews, camera tests, video tests, gaming performance tests. Like some of the stuff that like most people on this channel really don't care for. Like they care about the reviews to know like what specs the phone has, what kind of camera specs the phone has, battery life, that type of stuff. But I noticed that the most unpopular Pixel videos I've done are been like the photography, like doing a whole entire video on photography and letting people see how the photography works. Looks like my wife's coming out. Like those have been pretty unpopular. You didn't take long. We should make it back in time to pick up the kids, right? All right, let's go. My wife is registered for college. She's driving, I'm not. I'm tired. They start what time? 5 to 9? Oh wow, you'll be here from 5 p.m. to 9. Get off and get home by like 10. You're good. What up, Gene? Oh, Gene, since you're here, let me explain this to you. So Android 16 has been out, but like with the whole Android 16 and Android 17 thing. So Android 16 has been out for a while. Yes, there's still beta software for Android 16, but that's because big bump. That's because of the Pixel drop. So every 3 months, Google releases the Pixel drop, which is just, you know, like a bunch of new features that's, you know, put into the Pixels. And so before those new features are rolled out for everybody to use, there is QPR betas, right? Yeah, so that's why there's still a Android 16 beta. But as far as like beta software, like testing Android 16, that's already been done. Android 16's rolled out. It's already out. Now, if you have a phone manufacturer that hasn't updated your device, like I always tell people, that's at the company's discretion. So Samsung, Motorola, all the other ones. It's up to them on what phones they're going to update to Android 16. But the actual software is out in itself. It's out. It's available. Yeah, so in that case, for you to understand, it's up to TCL if they're going to update that TCL 50 that you have. It's up to them. They may not. They may not choose to update that phone at all. They may keep it on Android 15. I mean, Motorola just recently changed its software update policy. Before, they used to only give like one software update on the Moto G series phones, but now they're giving, I think they said, like 2 or 3 software updates. So like the Moto G Power 2025 that I got, it already got one update from Android 15 to Android 16, and it will get the update to Android 17, and then that will be its cutoff, end of life. Of course, hold on, I'm like riding with no seatbelt. Of course, most of the Pixels, like, they are 7. People say 7 years. It's actually 7 software updates. They base it on the versions of Android. So 7 versions of Android it'll get. So like my Pixel 10 launched with Android 16. So its end of life will be Android 23. And the Pixel 9a launched with Android 15 and got Android 16. So it'll end its life with Android 22. So the way that to tell if a certain software is out, like for instance, if you want to know if the full version of Android 17 is out, they usually launch the newest software with the newest hardware. So when the Pixel 11 is launching, that's about the time that Android 17 will be out. Now, the beta program to test Android 17, that should be starting maybe March, maybe, just about. Oh, you should make it back in time. Yeah. Oh, you ready? You ready to go to college? Okay, I'm not gonna say what college you're going to. I don't need people knowing. You'll be just fine. Right, chat. She'll be just fine. But yeah, so my apologies that there's not a video for today. Hopefully this suffices for right now. Just a little hangout live chat session, probably till I get close to my kids' school. Gotta pick them up. And then
I took most of your time.
No, you didn't take most of my time. It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, like a podcast live. Yeah. Everybody will be gone except for Xavier, so I can do a podcast tomorrow. I already did. I already changed the channel name. Yeah, it doesn't say Aloha Android anymore.
You didn't change your name? Why?
About 14 years of it. Retired it. 2026, I'm gonna start something fresh and new. And I'm running 2 channels, like I said. The Pixel Sideload channel, that's our channel. Like, I'm gonna make content on it, and once that channel is able to be monetized, and monetize it under your name, and you'll get the money for it. Do what you want to do with it, with the kids. That's all I use the YouTube monetization for, is money for the kids. Yeah, a lot of OEMs have figured out that they do need to update their devices. Doing like a one software update and then that's end of life isn't working, especially if they want to build like a good relations with customers. Customers want upgrades, because the reality of it is, when it comes to mobile technology, most people don't update every year. The nerds do, like us. We do. we like to upgrade every year. We like to get the latest phone and stuff like that with the latest features and whatever, right? Like, who knows? Maybe the Pixel 11's new AI feature is that it's going to do your taxes for you automatically, right? They have the AI built in, and all you gotta do is just upload photos of your receipts and your spendings and stuff like that, and your tax info. And then when tax season rolls around, it files your taxes for you in background. Like, that would be like, I'm just kidding around. That's not a real thing. Don't anyone like quote me and be like, yo, the Pixel 11 is gonna do my own taxes. It's not. I'm just giving an example. But why do phone manufacturers make you update right out of the box before you activate it? Because they released a software update for it. Not every one of them. Like, when I got my Pixel 10 right out of the box, it didn't have a software update. Didn't have a software update for like 3 weeks. Some do, and the reason why some of them do is because they're patching vulnerabilities. You gotta remember, like, all these software updates that come out from Google for Android, they patch vulnerabilities that are discovered. Like, one of the firms that looks for these vulnerabilities is Project Zero Day. Project Zero Day looks for like major exploits in the software, and then they let the software manufacturer know of all the exploits, so that way they can get them patched. You missed your razor. What happened to your razor? Yeah, Pixel 7 will get another update. It'll get Android 17. I think so will the Pixel 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Pixel 6, when we got it, it had Android 12, right? Android 12, something. Yeah, so Pixel 6 will get Android 17. That's end of life. And then Pixel 7 will get Android 18 as its end of life. They got 2 additional software supports. So, like, the way that it used to be, where it was 3 major OS updates and 5 years of security patches, all Google did was just make it 5 years of OS support, 5 years of security patches. So the end of life will be the same. Did I see the new Hyundai robot that was introduced at 2006 CES that changes its own battery? No, I haven't watched anything from CES. Not yet. Although, give a shout out and congratulations to Carlos. I guess he was at the NVIDIA party, and he won a limited edition. Oh yeah, cops. He won a NVIDIA mini PC that has AI, and I guess it was a prototype because it's one of one, so they haven't built any other versions of it. And he won it. That's autographed by the CEO of NVIDIA. So shout out to Carlos on that. I saw his post on X. It was on the news? No. If it was like on TV news, I'm not gonna see it because I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of TikTok. It hasn't come across my feed, so I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me with a lot of what's going on today with the advancements in AI. You can actually build like some really good robotics, and AI could run it. My TCL50 XL next paper, right on the device, it says updates will happen until April of 2027. What do you mean updates? That's when TL plans to update it? That's a long way. That's a very long way. That's very bad software support, in my opinion.
More police up here. Where is he at?
There's another cop up here somewhere?
Yep.
Wow.
They're everywhere over here. There's 3 of them. There was 2 over there, 1 right there, and 1 up here.
They had, like, both cops had people pulled over, or just
Yes,
that one?
both cops had somebody. There was another one. Just survived.
Very long time for the TCL to get updated. It's crazy. You guys, let me know how the stream is doing. I'm actually... Huh? Oh, there he is.
Another one.
Damn. Get out of here.
I want out of here.
Look, he's paranoid. This dude's paranoid as shit. He's seen like 3 cops.
Four.
Well, he's probably seeing 3.
Five.
He's probably seeing 3 because he came on back there, and he's going. He's out of here. Like, he goes all the way out to the friggin' the HOV lane, and he's just going. You guys, let me know how the live stream is doing. I am live streaming on Metro by T-Mobile 5G Ultra capacity on the Pixel 10. No, the security updates will take place. Oh, it'll take place until April 2027. Not bad. Yeah, so you got yourself like a year and 3 months. A year and 3 months of software updates. Well, that's the timeline. That's the timeline of updates you're going to get, but it depends on how many software updates they do. Went weak. There, as soon as I showed you guys the airport, it went weak. But that's why I was asking, because we're right next to the airport. And I was figuring like it'll start messing with the signal right here, just because, you know, the airplanes and everything. Yeah, I know, the stream was buffering because we were right next to the runway. So I figure it's going to start buffering. Yeah, we're about to jump on I-17 right now. Right? Yeah. Oh, traffic.
They told me it wasn't the fastest way to get there. Get home wasn't so.
Jeez. We got a lot of traffic these days in Phoenix. That's because a lot of people from California moved out here. My New Year's and Christmas was awesome, Gene. It was pretty good. It was nice and quiet and relaxing. So, I did go hiking on Christmas Day. My family, we went hiking, made it all the way to the top of North Mountain and sat up there and just enjoyed the view. And started making plans to possibly, it depends on when my wife's school starts. We might be able to go on spring break.
We are going on spring break.
I don't want her to miss this opportunity. I was like, you know, so many years she's been a manager, and I'm like, you guys know, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of all her successes and what she does. So the fact that she wants to switch careers and go into nursing, you know, that's all I can do is just be the supportive husband. We have a lot of traffic here. They are building a new clover leaf to help with traffic congestions. It's almost finished. It will be in December 2026, we hope. Oh, nice. Oh, there's this new thing on the screen here. Oh, it's playable games. You can play games on YouTube Live now? That's so weird. Yeah. It never used to be this much traffic, you know, 3-4 years ago. It was never like this. Like, it would be like this during, you know, rush hour, like 5 in the afternoon, evening. Yeah, it's only 1:35 p.m. and it's like this. So it's almost like we have this bad of traffic in the morning from like 4 in the morning till about 9-10 o'clock, and it only dies down for maybe like 2 hours, and then it picks right back up around now. You guys can see downtown Phoenix over there. How are you liking Total by Verizon's plans and services? Like, I have Visible. Visible is like my main line, and then the Metro is like a secondary backup, so I could do live streams like this. I still gotta get more footage with the Pixel 7. And no, to the person who asked, I do not feel bad that I traded my iPhone 11 Pro Max for a Pixel 7. If you don't know, most T-Mobile and T-Mobile MVNOs are not going to support LTE devices, so the iPhone 11 Pro Max is going to become obsolete really soon. And then what the hell would I do with it? So somebody else who needs an iPhone can get that, you know. And shout out to Tech It AZ. If you guys saw the video that I popped last night with the Pixel 7, I talked about this place. That's because they're really cool. They're not a sponsor to the channel or nothing like that. Small business guy who, you know, gets a bunch of smartphones, refurbishes them, and puts them back up for sale. And I just want to help his business get exposed, so I mentioned him. I mentioned his business. Oh, look, a plane took off. No, he took off. That's the south side of Phoenix. I used to live on that side of town. You know. Well, that way. It's south, pointing south. You love to bust my balls, babe. So I love my wife so much. Life would be boring without her. At least for me. I mean, for all you guys. For me. Artificial lawns. Yeah, we have so much pebbles and rocks in Phoenix. People's front yards are mostly consistent of that. So if someone does have like really nice looking grass in their front yard, it's artificial. It's that fake grass. But it makes sense too, because when I first moved here to this city, I always thought it was weird, because, like, you know, when I met my wife and moved in, I was only supposed to be here for summer. We were going to celebrate our birthdays together, but then I never went back to New Mexico, and she never kicked me out, so I just stayed. Like a stray dog that was found. I was just, you know. So I'll do that for the camera again. She just flipped me off. Anyways, so I always thought it was weird because she would water the front yard. Evening time, right? You know, I'm like used to like watering it when my dad told me to. But there's a significant reason why you water your yard in the evening or early in the morning, and that's just because the heat during the day will sap that water out of the ground really quick. So if you want your grass to like soak up the water for nutrients, you gotta do it when the heat's not gonna pull that moisture out. I know, right, Anthony? It's never a dull day. Like, my wife and I are so opposite. It's so funny because I literally like poke at her and dig at her to watch like sci-fi films with me. Cause like I like movies like The Matrix or Ready Player One. You know, a lot of like, you know, science fiction and stuff like that, and even like sci-fi thrillers. I like those, right? Like Aliens, Predator, stuff like that. I tell my wife to watch that movie with me, and then it's like I get the same answer all the time. It's like, you know, I'm not into those movies. Even when I try to make it even, like she wants to watch like a rom-com movie or like a drama rom, and I'll be like, oh, I can endure this. I'll watch it with her. That way I have this in my pocket to be like, hey, I watched that one movie with you. It doesn't matter, because even if I pull that card out, I still get this. What do I get? Have you watched Stranger Things? Yes, I did. I watched Stranger Things. I watched the finale. She actually watched Stranger Things with us, but she won't watch reruns. That's the thing about my wife. If I find a show that's like really good, I'll start over from like season 1 just to watch it again, but she's not into that. Like, she watched Big Bang Theory with me, but if I was like, hey, let's watch all the seasons of Big Bang Theory, like all 9 seasons of it, she won't. Like, she's like a one and done type person. Like, I found a TV show way back in the day. This was like back in like 2010 or 2011. No, it was 2012. I found a show called House MD, and I like totally went bananas over it. She watched it with me, but she will not watch rerun episodes of it. And then she found a show called The Good Doctor. How about that doctor that's autistic? And she got me into that. What about time travel movies? Depends on what the movie is. Like, the oldest time travel movie I remember watching was with my dad, called Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that was okay. And then I kind of like the movie The One with Jet Li, but only because of the fight sequences. Like, the story was kind of just like, eh. But anything that's like 80s, 90s, nostalgic, I love those types of things. Because like the 80s and 90s was a real good time growing up, at least for me. I know those that are older than me are going to have, a better year to say was a better time. But like the 80s and 90s was for me. You had you didn't have a lot of worries. Like today, the world is full of worries. There's a lot of worries in this world today. You gotta watch how you act, how you dress, what you say, how you say it. You gotta like watch what you support, what you stand for, because everybody just wants to corral every human into one mindless robot type thing. It's so weird. Sadie Singh from Stranger Things was on the Tonight Show last night. Oh, nice. Season 5 finale. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the way that it ended, you could tell that it was left with an open ending. You, the viewer, decided what the ending really was. I grew up in the late 60s through today. Yes, you have to watch what you say nowadays. Yeah, you have to watch what you say nowadays, and everybody's so sensitive. Everyone's sensitive, and everybody's just like, yeah. No one wants to enjoy each other's company anymore. Like, you can't really, like, sit down at a park with your lunch and see somebody else sitting there alone eating a lunch and just say hi to them, strike up a conversation just to have good company, eat your lunch, and then go back to work. You can't do that today. You can't let your kids play outside because there's creeps all over the place that will abduct your kids. You just can't do shit nowadays. That's why all these online commodities are picking up so quickly, right? Like remote work at home. People don't want to travel to work anymore because it's dangerous to travel to work. You could pick up groceries without having to leave your house. Just go on Walmart Spark or go on, Amazon, through Whole Foods and order your groceries. You got Uber Eats and DoorDash. So if you want takeout food, you can eat it in the comfort of your home. Just have a DoorDasher deliver your food. And then you can't even trust DoorDashers. I was telling my wife about that DoorDash chick that recorded that dude that was drunk and half naked on his couch, and how she calls herself the victim. She says she was SA'd and all this other stuff, and I'm laughing, not because I wish that on anybody, but because how the hell were you considered in that predicament when you decided to peep into his house or his side of the duplex, because it was a duplex house, and then you recorded him and then you uploaded your video to TikTok? Like, anybody who thinks logically would know. Like, I'm not saying that she had to put up with it. No one has to put up with that. But the dude was drunk and passed out. Like, I'm sorry. Show me somebody who was intoxicated and able to have full control over what they were doing. Because if that's the case, there would be no such things as DUIs, DWIs, or OW, or like, whatever, like OUI. Operating under the influence, because that's what some states call it. Yeah, even the way you sound and criticize you. Oh, I get it all the time, dude. I get criticized and picked on in comments. The reason why you guys don't see it is because comments on YouTube are filtered. So there are certain comments that get held for my review. And like, your comment, there's nothing wrong with your comment if it posts and you can see it. But if you post a comment and you're like, where's my comment? I don't see it. You may have put a word inside there, a hot word that YouTube is going to hold for me to review the entire comment before I make it live for everybody to see. And the other reason I do that is because my daughters watch my videos. Like, my daughters support my channel, so they give me a view and a thumbs up. And they read the comments too to see what people think of my video. And I don't need them to see some of the horrific stuff that people have said in comments. Like, people have said some real nasty shit. So, to be quite honest, yeah, certain comments are held. And there's certain keywords that triggers YouTube to hold those comments. So, yep, that's what it is. Yeah, don't forget to smash the likes. I appreciate them.
We got a test on the 21st.
You what?
We got testing on the 21st.
Oh, you'll be just fine because it's only a test to show like you know how far you are in different things, and then
Yeah, then I'll pass some classes.
yeah. So just is it online or you have to go there?
I have to go there.
Oh, good. You can't use me.
No.
You say
I
that.
gotta go by myself because the kids get off school at
Yeah, you're gonna have to because I have to go walk and get them. But you're not even shy about that. I'm like, oh, you can't use me. And you're like, nope. Because if you could, you would. Cheater. And we're going here later on tonight. My son has been wanting to try the SpongeBob Whopper. So we're going to take him to go get a SpongeBob Whopper. Although he gets mad at me when I pronounce the name SpongeBob with like Japanese. SpongeBob. He gets mad. Anthony says good luck on your test.
to 2 weeks.
We still say BK. Yep, BK. I grew up on Burger King. It was always so weird growing up because I felt like I was betraying Burger King. So like back in the Philippines,
Burger King.
listen to the story, babe. So back in the Philippines, like my dad was in the United States Air Force. So we were stationed on Clark Air Force Base. And on Clark Air Force Base, they had a Burger King. That's what they had. They had a Burger King and an Anthony's Pizza. Those are two places my dad would always take us out for, you know, fast food. And then, so when Mount Pinatubo was erupting, and I believe it was in 1990, we had to evacuate Clark Air Base, and we drove 4 hours down the mountain to Subic Naval Station. And so the Navy had McDonald's on their base. So I remember when my dad took us because he felt bad that we had to leave all our personal belongings. We can only pack one suitcase of clothes and evacuate, the base commander's orders. So my dad took us to the Navy Exchange to get some stuff, and I'll tell you guys a funny story about that. But then my dad was like, he felt bad. So, you know, for me and my sister, because we were staying in the barracks. And so he took us to McDonald's, and I felt like I was cheating on Burger King by going to McDonald's. And then my dad got irritated because I knew nothing of McDonald's. So my dad was like, what do you want? And I'm over there like, I wanted a Whopper Jr. because I really love Whopper Juniors or the Burger King original chicken sandwich. And then so my dad's like, no, they don't have that here. This is McDonald's. You know, well, he expects me to know, like as if I knew. Like, dude, you're in the Air Force and you're the one who made us grow up on a base. So how do you expect me to know? So anyways, yeah. Jack and a crack is the way to go. Yep, Jack's is the way to go. Especially back home in Hawaii. I was like, you go, like, if you went to Waikiki Beach, like you ditch school, go Waikiki Beach and hang out, go swimming. Then like right across, like if you're over there by Walls, right across is Jack and the Crack. You go there to grab lunch. I remember like how I was teaching my friends how to, you know, ask a Japanese tourist how to borrow their surfboard. Since they didn't speak English, they wouldn't understand you. So I didn't think my friends would take it serious. So I told them, I was like, go up to the guy, point to his surfboard, point to the water, pick it up and run. If he chases you, that means no. But if he's just chill, that means, yeah, you can borrow the board. Anyways, the funny story about the Navy Exchange. Some of you guys heard this story before when I've done story time on a podcast. But like I said, we had to evacuate Clark Air Force Base. We couldn't take personal items. So the Sega Genesis and all my video games couldn't come with us. So my dad felt bad for me and my sister. We were staying at the Navy barracks. It was like a 1-bedroom barracks. And so my dad went and he bought a Nintendo. So this was the first Nintendo I ever had. Like all my friends on the block growing up, they had Nintendos first. I had my first game console was a Sega Genesis. So my dad buys a Nintendo, and so my sister's like, oh, the Nintendo comes with, you know, one controller, one zapper gun, and then the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo. So my dad buys a second controller, and then he looks at me and he's like, I'll let you pick an extra game that you guys, you know, you want to play. So I'm looking at all the games, and the OG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES was $39.99. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, I really like that game because when my dad took us bowling, it was at the arcade. So I grabbed the game and I put it in the shopping cart. And then when we turned the corner, I seen the newer games, and there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade. And I was like, ooh, my dad won't know, because I'm thinking he's just going to look at the Ninja Turtles logo and think it's the same thing. So I swapped the games out, not realizing that part 2 was $42.99. So we go to pay for the stuff. So my dad bought us some new clothes, some new sneakers, and then the Nintendo. He bought my sister a vanity mirror and some stuff for her to do her makeup because you know she was like into that shit. Well, anyways, so when they're scanning all the stuff, the lady scans the video game, and then it comes up $42.99. My dad sees it and he goes, "Oh, there must be a price error because it's $39.99." And the woman, she double checked and she kept double checking, and she double checked, and then she goes, "No, sir, it's $42.99." And then she showed him the part one, and she goes, "This one is $39.99." And my dad's like, "What's the difference?" And so she showed him. She's like, "Oh, this one that you have is part two." And as soon as she said part two, it was like a movie. My dad just kind of like took this turn and looked at me. Literally, if he had Superman's laser eyes, like I was already burning slowly from the forehead down. That's literally what happened. It was fucking crazy as hell. And I was like, man. So what my dad did to punish me was, we got back to the barracks. We set up the Nintendo. He put my game on the coffee table, and I was not allowed to open it until he said. So I ended up staring at the game on the coffee table for 5 hours before he let me open the game and play it. When I look back at it, it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. 5 hours of suffering to have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, the arcade game. And then I beat the game in 3 days. And then my dad told me that I was dumb. He was like, "You're going to be bored now because you beat it. You should have took your time. It did one level at a time." And I'm like, but this is back in the day when video games was like literally, there were no save points. So I always tell my kids, if you want to play a hard video game, grab some of the retro games that I grew up on, because those have no save points. There's no memory cards. There's no internal drive to save, right? Like Nintendo games, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and Nintendo 64, and Super, yeah, I think it said Super Nintendo, right? Yeah, all those game sizes, they're like freaking, like NES games are like 673 kilobytes in size. Super Nintendo games are like 1.2 megabytes to like 15 megabytes. N64 is like 106 megabytes to 300 to 500 megabytes, right? They're very small files. Very small. I cheated on Sega? Really, Oscar? To be quite honest with you, I preferred Sega games over Nintendo. Like, all my friends love games like Paperboy and Super Mario. Me, I was like my friend, he would always tell me about like how Kid Icarus was like such a badass game. Kid Icarus is pretty good. Yes, I give it that. You know what was better than Kid Icarus? Kid Chameleon, right? The character on the Sega game, whose name is Alex, and he had like a wristband that allowed him to like change into different creatures, kind of like Ben 10. I think that's probably the idea of the Ben 10 comics, TV show and comic books. But anyways, then you had Chakan, or Chakin, however you pronounce the game. And you had like other cool stuff. And then there was Universal games, right? Like you had better audio quality for Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis, but the controllers were better on Super Nintendo. So go figure. Contra was awesome. I love Contra and Castlevania. Like when I started downloading emulators on my PC and playing games, that was like one of the main ones that I like to play was Castlevania. I'm a very big Castlevania fan. Like one of the all-time favorite games, but it's not canon to the story, is Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I love that series. How they made one of the Belmonts actually be Dracula. So Gabriel Belmont, who fought for the Brotherhood of Light, ended up falling, becoming Count Dracula. If you've never played Lords of Shadow, you should play it. It's a really good game. But anyways, guys, I'm heading up to get my kids. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for a whole hour. Catch me tomorrow for the podcast. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.